Hey folks, Crazy Clown Radio here again. And this time we're going to look at game number 3 in our 20 from 1992 series. And this is kind of an upgrade kit to Street Fighter 2. Actually, this is 2 upgrade kits in one video. And this is Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, which is the most often seen version of Street Fighter 2. But we are also going to look at Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting, or maybe it was called just Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, or maybe just Street Fighter 2 Turbo. But whatever you call it, this is another upgrade. The first one, the more common one, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, let you play as the boss characters. And I think it was an absolutely brand new concept at the time. I don't know that there was any other game that did that. And people that had played Street Fighter 2 before that hated getting burned over and over and over by, say, M. Bison's Psycho Charge, or whatever the hell it was called, would be delighted that they can use that. They can use that same cheapo move over and over on their opponents, including on Bison himself. See, you can play as Balrog, Vega, Sagat, and Bison, and you can see them from the selectable list on the far right. Other than that, this game is really the same as Street Fighter 2. So we are not going to play as any character other than the boss characters. But yeah, this was a brand new concept, being able to play as the boss characters. And I would suggest M. Bison, because it was called the Psycho Crusher, is what it's called. That's his cheapo move, in which he flies across the screen on fire and burns any enemy that's not blocking. Even if they block, he still causes damage. And we're going to start with Balrog. And he is the boxer. And he is clearly patterned after Mike Tyson, although he doesn't have that weird tattoo on his face. But the moves for Balrog, you can charge back and then forward and punch. You can hold down all punch buttons and then let go. Hold them down for a few seconds or so. And you can charge back and then press forward and a kick button. And it's charge back and then forward and punch or kick. Does like a dash punch or a dash uppercut. And then the one where you hold all the punch buttons together for a few seconds and then let go, he does a turn and dash attack. And if I have to select if I have to continue, yeah, he's got good reach, and he does a headbutt as a grab move when you're close. And his victory pose is either his shirt gets ripped off when he flexes, or he just flexes and his shirt doesn't get ripped off. But when I have to spend a continue, I will choose a different boss character, so we will see all the boss characters being played in this. And I will show all their moves. There's E. Honda. Balrog's stage is Vegas. You will see like a casino in the background and some showgirls.
Round 2.
We will get to that later. But yeah, this again, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition was the version of Street Fighter 2 most often seen in arcades by a mile. I'm thinking I might have seen Street Fighter 2 turbo hyper fighting or whatever it's called in the arcades probably once or twice. And I had seen Street Fighter II, the original one called The World Warrior. I had seen that a number of times in the arcades back in the day, but most often you would have seen a Champion Edition in the arcades. The Street Fighter II Turbo Hyper Fighting, or whatever it's called, the fighters, almost all of them had different color palettes, and we will look at all of that a little bit later on. The action was faster, and a bit too fast for my tastes. And some of the fighters had a new move. It was a cool little upgrade, but it was a little too hard for me because of the speed. None of the boss characters in Street Fighter II Turbo Hyper Fighting, none of them had new moves. Blanca had a new move, or Blanca, however you pronounce it. The Sega Genesis had a port of Street Fighter II Champion Edition, and it was unbelievably awesome. The only downside to it was the voice samples, or the voice sound was garbled. Other than that, man, it was a great game. And it had elements of Street Fighter II Turbo Hyper Fighting in it. You could use some of the new moves in it, and you could upgrade the speed. It was really cool. I had it, and one of these days I'm going to do a Sega Genesis 20 from series, and I'd be hard pressed not to put that in the top 20. And yeah, we have the bonus stages in Champion Edition. Destroying the car and breaking the barrels and breaking the oil drums. Those are all in this. Well, I hope you're enjoying your summer. Hope that where you live that the heat hasn't really hit you too hard. I was lucky. I only had really one really hot day and got to about 90 degrees. I don't even hate the heat outside so much as I hate trying to go to sleep when it's really hot outside at night. And I just kind of toss and turn because I get so hot. But yeah, we haven't had a whole lot of heat yet. I'm sure that's going to change. Ah, got me. Yeah, Guile had weird hair, and he also gets a color change, or a color palette change in Street Fighter II Turbo Hyper Fighting. He is blue. I'm sure we're going to get some nice hot frickin' days in July coming up. I am going to take the last full week of July off. I'm going to set up the barbecue on the back deck and invite some people over.
Sonic boom! Sonic boom! Sonic boom! Sonic boom!
Ah, crap. Didn't time my jump very well, so I'm going to have to spend a continue. I'm going to switch over to, I think it was Vega next. The names of the characters, of the boss characters, were originally different in Japan. Balrog is based on Mike Tyson, and his character's name was supposed to be Bison, a spoof of Mike Tyson, which was Mike Bison, but it got changed for Americans that Bison was the final boss. And I think his name was originally supposed to be Vega in Japan. And this is Vega in America here, this Spanish acrobat with claws. He's an assassin. And then after I run out of, or if I lose and have to spend a continue, I'll switch over to Sagat. Yeah, I definitely saw this at every single arcade Champion Edition. And like I said, the Sega Genesis port is terrific. If he takes enough damage, he can get his claws knocked off and has to use his regular fists. But as Vega, you can double tap backwards and he'll do a backflip. He can jump off the walls. He can do a wall spring and jump off. That's a good way to get the height advantage on your opponent if you want to jump kick him. And you can also hold down for a couple seconds and then press up and kick or punch, and you will jump really high and bounce off the wall and then do a dive down at your opponent. And you can press the punch button as you descend, and you'll stick out your claws and slash them. And I think maybe if you press kick instead of punch, you might grab them and slam them. And this can be done on Vega's stage, which is in a Spanish cage match, and he'll be able to jump on the cage wall and climb up it and then do a dive attack. Ken wears a purple gi in Street Fighter II Turbo Hyper Fighting. Ken is just crazy about. There was the special charge wall spring attack, and he can also do a slide kick by pressing down and the kick button, I believe. Just like with Street Fighter II, the original game, there's 3 punch buttons: weak, medium, and strong. And then there's 3 kick buttons: weak, medium, and strong. Yeah, Ken is just crazy about the uppercut and the Shoryuken. The uppercut and the hurricane kick. He is just totally in love with those moves, and you can use that to your advantage. When he does that especially, then you can rush in and throw him when he lands. I'm not particularly great at versus fighting games, but it's very clear that Ken has moves that you can counter or exploit when he lands from them. And now we're gonna face Chun-Li, and she is so nimble in this game. If you face her later on, gotta be careful. And she kind of knows when you're gonna try to attack, and she'll jump away sometimes. Her and Vega have a very rough history with each other. She knows he's a creep, and she hates his guts, but he actually slightly respects her because she's beautiful, and he loves all things beautiful, and he hates all things that he considers ugly. He's very arrogant and full of himself. She's got very, very long, strong legs, and she knocked off my claw. I have not played all of the Street Fighting games. I played the very first Street Fighter, which I didn't entirely care for. The idea was good, but it was very choppy, very, very rough. I of course saw Street Fighter II: The World Warrior. Excuse me. I saw Street Fighter II Champion Edition. I might have seen Turbo Hyper Fighting, or whatever you want to call it. I saw Street Fighter Alpha at a department store I used to work at. I've never seen Street Fighter 3 in the arcades. I'd seen Street Fighter EX at a college campus that I was looking to apply for. I kind of backed out of that. I don't think I've seen any of the other Street Fighter Alphas. I don't recall coming across a Street Fighter vs. X-Men. Now we're going to play as Sagat. I think I used to always call him Sagat. I think it's supposed to be pronounced Sagat. But he will throw tiger fireballs in the same motion as Ryu does his fireballs. Down, down, forward, and forward, and if Sagat presses punch, I think it's a high fireball. If he does down, down, forward, and kick, it's a low one. He can also do there's the uppercut. Just like Ryu does his, or Ken, it's forward, down, and down, forward, and punch. I couldn't get it to work very often, but when it does, it's really awesome. Sagat has long limbs. Use that to your advantage. Long arms, long legs especially. They make a good air counter move when the enemy jumps towards you. You can use your long leg to kick. There we go. Yeah, you can kind of gauge the distance that your opponent jumps, and if you time it right, you can knock them down. Sagat initially was an enemy of Ryu, and he comes to admire and respect him as the Street Fighter series unfolds. This is the barrel stage. They start moving too fast, and I get knocked on my ass. Damn it, and somehow he didn't break that one. That was not too good. But yeah, we'll beat this game with the use of only the bosses. Zangief was kind of a dunce, a klutz in the earlier Street Fighter games, and guess what? He still is. You can jump kick in the corner, and he'll keep walking right into it. It's a quote-unquote strategy I used back in the day. It worked then, and it still works. The only thing is that if he can do his spinning suplex or whatever it was called, oh man, you can be in a world of hurt. Just don't let him do it. Use your long legs like Sagat's got, and keep him at bay, and you'll eventually be able to hit him. Yeah, if you're a Sega Genesis collector, or you're starting to collect Sega Genesis games looking for the good ones, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, definitely pick that up. I was super happy with that game. Like I said, the only bad thing about that game was the voices were garbled, but really minor complaint. Yeah, Sagat has like a big scar on his chest, and that was from Ryu giving him an uppercut. Sure, you can. Yeah, Dawsim gets pretty tough at this point, late in the game. But if you have long legs and you're able to jump kick him, you might be able to get some good strikes in. And Dawsim has a special move that he didn't have in previous incarnations in the Street Fighter 2 series. And that is in Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting. That is a teleport. He is able to teleport from one end of the stage to the other end. And in order to do that, he what is it he does? You push forward, down, and down forward, and then you have to push all the punch buttons or all the kick buttons to teleport. We will look at all those moves that are unique to the Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting game. Crapola. Well, I'm gonna have to play as Bison if I can't win another fight here. I've never been to India. I've barely been outside of the U.S. I think the only country I've been outside of America was Canada, and that was it. So I haven't been outside of North America. I don't care. I don't feel the need to travel really. Can I win? Haha, yeah. Well, guess I can take on another fighter. There will be no mirror match through the boss fights, unless you are playing as Bison. Then you will have to play yourself as the final boss. My biggest bugaboo in this game was Vega. Vega would always wipe the floor with me. He was just too damn quick. But if you're using M. Bison's cheapo Psycho Crusher move, you can make it a laughable affair. You can just whoop his ass over and over. It doesn't take much to execute it. You just have to hold backwards for a few seconds and then press forward and a punch button. Just like with the original Street Fighter 2 game, the length of your special move or the distance of your special move can differ depending on which strength button you pressed. Yeah, sometimes Sagat will just chuckle silently with his arms folded, or he might laugh out loud. That is very useful in this barrel stage, is the uppercut. And here is old Vega. Yeah, in his stage, you can use that wall jump move, or the I don't know what's it called. I don't remember what it's called, but you hold down. You want to be by a wall, the left or right wall. When you do this, you hold down for a couple seconds and then press up and either kick or punch. And here you will jump onto that wall in the background, like he's doing here. And then as he jumps, you can press the punch button to slash, or I think you can press the kick button to grab the opponent and slam him. Vega's always been a real pain in my ass. Vega can also do if you charge backwards and then press forward and I think the punch button, he will do a rolling claw attack. But he is so fast, his speed is so intimidating. And then he will start to do this type of move all the time. There he slammed me. He is such a pain in the ass. I hope your summer is not too hot. Hope you get some cool weather here and there. Ah, nice. Can I do it again? Ah, damn it. Doesn't always seem to work for me. Oh my god. Ran out of time, but I had just a little teeny bit more energy than him.
Round 3, fight!
Yeah, the Street Fighter series is still going on. My brother bought a PlayStation 3, and we had Street Fighter, was it 4? It was pretty darn awesome. I enjoyed it. I got my Tiger Uppercut to work again, but it just doesn't seem to work consistently. Nope. Damn it. Now he's gonna farm those wall jumps. Crap. Damn it. Oh! I tried to do it and it was too late. Well, I'll have to spend a continue and play as Bison. A few years or so, or maybe a couple years after this, they of course had the really bad Street Fighter movie, live action movie, but also they had what was it? Street Fighter American cartoon that was really bad. But I did like the guy that did Bison's voice. He played it cheesy and funny, and he was great at it. Yeah, Bison has a charge back and then forward and punch move that is his Psycho Crusher, which is so cheap, and I'm doing that right now. And if your timing is right, you can nail them every time as they start getting up. And if you charge back and then press forward and kick, you will do a what they call it, not a scissor kick or something, but you can hit them multiple times with that. You can charge down for a couple seconds and then press up and kick, and you will do a head stomp. You will jump on your opponent's head, and then you'll stomp on his head and jump off. And while you're in the air, you can press the punch button and smack him again. It's a pretty cool looking move. And I tried to do it several times, but it was hard to pull off. You can use the Psycho Crusher to get away from Vega when he's trying to jump on you. Just such a cheap move. I remember him using that on me in the arcades, and I was like, God damn it, I hate that move. But when this came out, I was like, oh, cool, I can use that move.
Island.
Now we're going to take on Sagat.
Round 1, fight!
Sagat's ridiculously tall. He's like 7'2" or maybe 7'4" or something. And like I said, he's got nice long limbs. Ouch. Yeah, if you're close to the enemy and you can throw them, definitely do it, because Bison's throw will definitely take off a decent chunk of energy. He's not letting me do my Psycho Crusher move. There we go. Excuse me. This dry weather that I've got in my area has been playing havoc with my vocal cords sometimes. Getting a little dry. There we go. There's the stomp, but he was ready for it and uppercutted me. Is he gonna even things up here? Yep.
You lose.
I am really looking forward to finishing off my 1992 series.
Fight.
Gonna have a couple more versus fighters to close this series out.
Tiger. Tiger. Tiger.
The number one game in this series, 1992, that franchise is still going strong. They're still making games for it. That might have been enough of a tip-off as to what it is.
Uppercut. You win.
And now I will have to face myself as the final boss. Sorry, the audio got funky. Sometimes that happens when I'm recording with Bandicam.
One. Fight.
Yeah, the backgrounds are all going to be the same in these upgrade kits. Champion Edition and Turbo Hyper Fighting. Yeah, even the Speedy Bison might not be able to get out of the way in time of your Psycho Crusher. Yeah, it takes out numerous chunks of their life bar as you cut through them. Stop that. Audio got funky right here. Sorry about that, I just couldn't help that. There we go. And we are going to go ahead and watch all the endings to each boss character. You get a nice big bonus for perfect. And here is Bison's ending. You will always see the four characters in the background there, the four boss characters, as the dialogue scrolls upward. And then a bunch of people walking away from something burning at the bottom. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to be. But we will also see the endings for Balrog and Vega and Sagat in just a moment here. And here's Balrog's ending. Yeah, for Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting, or whatever it's called, Bison is the only one that does not have a color change. You can get a different color if you're playing as him, like for Player 2, but that was in Street Fighter 2, the World Warrior as well, I think. He's either red or he's green. And now we'll see Vega's ending here. What are your summer plans, folks? Gonna do some barbecuing? Gonna do some home projects? Unfortunately, I've got most of them finished. I do have to reseal the deck. That's not going to take long. And sometime I need to get a new garage door. And here's Sagat's ending. think he also had like a scar on his cheek, and obviously he's got an eye patch. That's probably the result of a fight between him and Ryu. But in just a little bit, we're going to look at Street Fighter II Turbo Hyper Fighting. And like I said, it might have been called Street Fighter II Turbo, might have been called Street Fighter II Hyper Fighting, or it might have been called Street Fighter II Turbo Hyper Fighting. At any rate, we're going to look at that right now. Strangely enough, during the attract mode, you do not see the game sped up, but it sure is in regular gameplay. And it looks the same as Street Fighter II The World Warrior to start out, but it says Hyper Fighting. But Champion Edition and Hyper Fighting, or whatever you want to call it, were released in '92, and the original Street Fighter II was released in 1991. See, during the attract mode, we do not see the sped up version. Sometimes in this version, Ryu and Ken will fire red fireballs as well as blue fireballs. I'm not sure why that happens. But Ryu and Ken can also do the hurricane kick in mid-air. You can jump and do the down, forward, and forward, or no, down, back, and kick, and it'll work in mid-air. And we'll look at the color palettes of each character, the new color palettes. See, Ryu has a blue gi here. See, the action is faster. We're not going to do a playthrough of this. I just want to show off the new color palettes and the speed, and the new moves of some of the characters. And here, E Honda has green face paint and an orange cloth. And E Honda's new special move is hold down for a couple seconds and then press up, and I think it was kick, and he does a vertical flying attack. And again, Dhalsim can teleport. And here Blanca has gold skin and blue hair, and Chun-Li has a gray outfit. And I think I mentioned before, Guile has a blue outfit. Balrog has an orange shirt. Vega has a gray, yellow, and green outfit. Ken has a purple gi. Zangief has a light green outfit. Dhalsim has a gray outfit, and Sagat has white and red trunks, and Bison does not have a new color. There's Guile in his blue outfit. Guile, Balrog, Vega, Sagat, and Bison do not have new moves for this version. Yeah, Chun-Li now has a fireball, see? And it's the same move as Ryu's fireball, Ken's fireball, I believe. Yeah, I just want to show the color differences in this game, and the faster speed, and the new moves of some of the characters.
Round one, fight!
Yeah, there's E Honda's new vertical attack. It's ridiculous to believe that a sumo wrestler could be that agile. I hate Dawsim's teleport move. It's so cheap. He appears behind me and instantly starts bashing my head.
Round 1, fight!
But yeah, I'm no way I'm doing a playthrough of this as well. I don't have the time, and I don't want you to have to sit through all that. I just wanted to show the differences. But that was Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition and Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting. And yeah, he gets to do a vertical attack as well. And that was Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition and Turbo Hyper Fighting. Game number 3 in our 20 from 1992 series. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope you join me soon for game number 2. Bye-bye, folks.
If you